Warning, the following audio story is a PG-13 audio story, so if you don't want to hear words like shit, then too late. Now grab a drink and enjoy the story.
Located near Greenwich is the Isle of Dogs, home to the West India Docks. The docks have stood for a few centuries and used to have rail access, but with dwindling traffic, this was discontinued in the 1960s. The Port of London Authority used to employ various tank engines here, from the common Peggott saddle tanks to large Hudson-Clarke side tanks. In the 1940s, a small tender engine could also be found here. This engine was an ex-Southeastern and Chatham Railway 01 class, numbered 100, with the letters EKR on their tender. The engine's name was unknown, so everyone called him 100. However, one thing for sure was that he was in charge of working munitions and other supply trains to and from the port. The EKR lettering indicated that he was an engine of the East Kent Light Railway. The line generally existed for coal traffic, but would take on lots of general goods work too. Reportedly, the engine didn't say much, but would become rattled if he felt things were behind schedule, beginning to bark orders at the small tank engines to get a move on, that the hungry war machine can't feed itself. It was rare that the engine smiled, but made himself known to the dockside with a rough clunking noise and a panting of his air pump. Anyone who is familiar with World War II has probably heard of the infamous Battle of Britain of 1940. Between July and October 1940, the Luftwaffe bombed London almost nightly, and the docks, Wapping and the Isle of Dogs were under major strain during this time. One unusually grim morning in August, 100 rolled down to the docks and halted alongside one of the Peggott tank engines. The small tank engine stammered a greeting.
Hello, 100. Sleep well last night?
100 looked over from the river, eyed the small tank engine up and down, and then fixated back on the riverside before replying.
Is the fuel train that I'm taking to the coalfield sorted, Peggott?
Yes it is. It's over on siding 2, by the jetty.
100 rolled away and traveled to the siding where his train was waiting. He doubled up and exited without so much as a thank you. The little Peggott tank engines didn't mind, just relieved that 100 hadn't had a go at him. 100 spent the rest of the day shooting back and forth with various supply trains to the neighboring strategic locations, from the East Kent coalfield to the Longmoor military railway. It had been a long and tiring day as usual. By the time he returned to the docks for his final delivery, the only engine left by the quay was the same little tank engine from earlier. 100 clanked back into the harbor as the sun set and a mild fog had begun to roll in. The little tank engine was starting up at the sky anxiously, and 100 noticed this.
What's wrong with you then, lad?
I hope the Luftwaffe doesn't come tonight. We won't see them coming in the fog.
You'll hear them long before you see them, Nipper. Surely you should know that.
Oh, well, yes, but...
Well, there you go. It'll be alright. They've hit us time and time again, yet we're still here, aren't we? And besides, we have a job to do. The hungry war machine won't...
Yeah, won't feed itself.
100, slightly taken aback by the sudden attitude change, stared at the little engine for a few moments before raising an eyebrow, before reversing towards his last train. 100 coupled up and waited for the all clear out of the harbor. He looked back over. The little engine stared at him, but quickly pretended like he hadn't been, when 100 did look back at him. Finally, 100 was given the all clear.
Right away.
He let out a shrill whistle and blasted with a thunderous roll out of the harbor, each beat of his exhaust like an explosion, spouting black fumes into the atmosphere as he went. He paid no attention to the little engine, but felt his eyes tracking him like a sniper. As the train disappeared from view, the little engine remained fixated on the loud bangs erupting from 100's exhaust. They remained ear-piercingly loud, not dissipating even after the train was out of view. It was then that it hit the little engine. The dock was under attack. He panicked. The last thing his whistle tried to warn 100, he was long gone. Fearing for his life, he raced away from the dockside, taking cover in one of the warehouses, storing a load of building supplies and other industrial goods. 100 remained unfazed for a few minutes anyhow, not aware of the attack that had begun until an unusual banging became louder and louder, followed by the low roar of train engines. However, it was too late for him. He looked up and saw it.
Shit!
When it all came to a merciful end, the little engine emerged from the warehouse, which had unfortunately survived the worst of the bombing. He made his way out along the barren wasteland of the debris, trying desperately to find 100. About 2 miles up the line, the little engine could find the rear of his train. As the dust and fog cleared, the little engine could see it all. 100's boiler blew upon impact. Several of his pipes had blown up, breaking through his mailbox door. The little engine dragged the unharmed part of the train back to the harbor. Scrap merchants were called later to dismantle 100, and he seemed to fade away as a forgotten war story. The little engine kept 100 in his mouth for a while after, telling his story to many other engines of the dogs. He would go on to survive the war, eventually dwindling up in a heritage line, the Up-Nord-Down Railway, in the 1990s, after a restoration process spanning almost 30 years. One day, he found himself with one of the line's other engines, an ex-Southeastern Chatham Railway P-class, called Zack, and the topic of the war managed to crop up.
Well, I worked for the Ports of London Authority for my whole career up until the 60s, so I barely left the river for my whole life, let alone the war.
Ah, I see. Well, I found myself abroad in both wars. Ugly stuff, lad, I'll tell you that. I led a motley group called the South Eastern Regiment through France and Germany up to 1945 when we stormed Berlin.
The Southeastern Regiment, you say? Why does that sound so familiar?
They did hail us as war heroes when those of us that survived made it back. You might have heard someone talking about us.
No, that's not... No. Wait a minute. You're a Southeastern Chatham Railway engine line.
Yes. Why?
Did you know a tender engine numbered 100?
Yeah, I knew him quite well actually. He worked goods trains and the like with me around Ashford. Then I left for France in 1914 and he was a different engine when I came back. I saw him every now and then until he was sold to the East Kent Railway in 1935. Then he seemed to vanish without a trace. Why?
Well, you see,